Hello and welcome back to the Dungeons & Dragons podcast UK. My name is Yazmin and I will be the DM.
Hi, my name's Samantha. I play Elora Greyvale, a sorcerer from Nephalia.
Hello, I'm Colin Robinson and I play Cuin de Greymont, a paladin from Gavany.
Hi, I'm Ryan and I play Ogvar, a ranger from Kessig.
This week, we would like to mention our friend Dave Wohlers, who is admin of the Ridiculous 6 Dungeons & Dragons group in the good old US of A. A mahoosive thanks for being constantly supportive and helpful to us and our podcast. Feel free to hop on over and join them on their Facebook page and follow their antics too. It is with huge excitement that Cuin, Elora and myself would like to wish our very own Ogvar a very happy birthday. Go easy on the mead, Ogvar, or you'll be needing to make a fortitude save, with a penalty. Now, without further ado, let's get back to the podcast. Last time on The Secrets of the Silver City, our group were gathered at the garrison. Grath had been turfed out of his bunk at the barracks by his boss, and he was then intimidated into giving up the information the team was seeking. Next stop, the bookshop. What will unfold at the Spine Mine? Episode 8, A Catalogue of Errors. So, Grath has run off to presumably go and pay his tab. The gentleman who was sat in the guard who was sat in the barracks originally, he still hasn't reappeared yet. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. What are you going to do?
Do you think we should go to either the church or to the bookshop first?
Well, I'd say go to the bookshop because, well, it's probably closer. I mean, the church is it's all the way up there, isn't it? We've not been up there.
True. Yes. What do you think?
Yes, we can go to the bookshop. Let's head off.
The bookshop? What was it called again?
I think it was called the Spine Mine.
Oh, that's quite inventive. I quite like that.
Let's go.
Okay. So you start looking for the bookshop. Everyone roll me a spot check, please.
That's a bit more like it. 19 from Elora.
14 all in from Ogvar.
11 all in.
So as you walk around, you're looking down the kind of streets and small-sized streets and everything like that. And you eventually come down a street called Coral Row. And you've been walking around for about 15 minutes now, and you wander down and you see a sign hanging from the outside of the shop saying the Spine Mine.
Oh, I think this might be it. I think we found it. Look, well, according to the sign, anyway.
Yes. Well, I'll spot it. I suppose we better go in then.
Right. Obviously, it's right. If it's this time in the morning, everything's open. So, right. So, can I just put my hand on the door and either open it or push the door open, whichever?
Yeah. You open the door. There's a pleasant little chime from a doorbell as it opens, and you wander in.
Right. I'll shuffle in then.
Yeah, we'll all go in.
Yep. Okay. Right. So we'll all cram in. Is it a big place? Is it?
So you enter into the shop, and the first thing you're greeted with is the smell of old books and pages and leather. And this shop, it looks like a rabbit warren. The books are stacked in shelves on the floor in piles from floor to ceiling basically. And it's almost like a maze. You can barely see anything for the books. And there's all sorts of books, leather ones, books which look they're like bound in maybe wood. There's scrolls, there's loose sheets of paper. It's all over the place in here. and you've got hardwood floors underneath which creak as you step forwards.
How wide is this bookshop? Is it?
It's difficult to tell because there are so many shelves everywhere.
Right, well, I'm going to start walking down. I'm going to assume it's a little bit dusty because it's obviously looking a bit unkempt. So I'm going to walk down, and obviously I like books, being educated. And I'm going to reach out, because obviously some of these books are really old as well, leather bound, as you say. And I'm going to reach out, and I'm going to just run my hand down the spine of the books as I walk down the one side of the shop. Just allow them to just brush over them and just feel the books as I go across. I'm just going to say to the others, wow, these books, some of these are really old. Look at them, they're leather bound, and they're smell those, they're lovely. Lovely books. I'm going to carry on, walk down towards, is there a counter in the shop?
Difficult to say, it's like a rabbit warren.
Okay, so I'm just going to wander around and see what I come across.
Okay.
Do you think we should call out to see if anybody's here, or just carry on just wandering around? I don't want people to get the wrong impression.
Wrong impression?
Would you shout in the library, though?
True, I suppose. It's not really my forte, shall we say. I'm all action.
Let's head down towards the back of the shop.
Okay, yes. Which way's back?
Away from the door.
That may be so, but I mean, it's like a maze. You can't see.
Is there like a rows, or are they just sort of higgledy-piggledy?
The shelves are literally everywhere. There are some gaps in between some of the shelves where they come to like a right angle.
Okay.
And you can see maybe a slight gap. It's definitely not big enough to squeeze through, but you can just see through the gap there's just more shelves.
Are they like proper bookcase, like library book?
They're like proper bookcases. They look like they're made of solid wood, but different kinds of wood. They're kind of mashed together, but they're made properly. It's not just kind of like shelving which has just been thrown up. It's
okay. You got any little slidey ladders?
Maybe. But no, it is a maze, and there's only really one way you can go.
Okay.
Down this way. It is just a literal warren just leading you through.
Okay.
It's like a IKEA.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Has this place got a high ceiling? Are the books beyond reach, or...?
No, it has got quite a high ceiling, and the books are literally all the way to the roof. I mean, there's books squished in between the top of a bookshelf and a roof in some places.
Oh, right, okay. Probably holding the roof up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's, you can imagine you probably need to get some help to get them down.
Well, I'm just going to wander up and down the rows and just have a look at generally what's here. Can I roll an investigation check to see what kind... I mean, are these books from every kind of genre, or...?
Roll me a search check.
Yeah, that's a 15.
Oh, you're not doing too badly today.
Don't tempt it.
So yeah, you, as you're wandering up and down, it's this single lane almost, this one-way kind of maze of books. You're turning right angles, doubling back on yourself. It is a literal maze. And as you go, you're just pulling some books off the shelf and flipping them open and having a flip through them. And you can see that there are all sorts here. There's books on alchemy, there's books on potion making, books on armour, weapons, children's stories. There's everything here.
I wondered where all this lot came from. I mean, it takes a lot to... Cuin, are you there? Where's everybody? Ogvar! Cuin, are you there? Where? I can hear you, but...
Elora, wait up.
I'm over here. I'm around the... Just keep walking. You'll catch up with me.
I seem to have hit a bit of a dead end here. I'll have to turn round. Okay, I'm on the way back.
Ogvar? Where's Ogvar? Can't
Where am
hear
I?
him.
You're somewhere in the maze.
Oh, great.
Oh, well. Anyway, I'll just keep leafing through some of these books, taking them off shelves, putting them back on. I'm absolutely in awe and wonder, because the amount of books there are in here and the variation. I mean, it must have taken years to collect all of these books. I mean, there's just thousands of them. So I'm just really... I've never seen a bookshop like this, really, before.
I mean, you're going through and you can see there are duplicates of some books, but they're nowhere near the same place. I mean, you find a copy of The Adventurer's Guide to the Wild about 3 turns ago, and you've about 3 more on the shelf in front of you right now. There is no order to this place. Books have just been shoved onto the shelf.
How does anybody find anything around here? This is bizarre. There's no... How does... Well, if you wanted something specific, how would you find it? I don't know. I'm just talking to myself at this point.
Yeah. So you're going to keep wandering through.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so the size of this store, you've been wandering for a good half an hour. And there's still more to go. There's twists. This store is massive and it is crammed. It's like double-sided bookshelves. There's books on one side and books on the other. It's as you turn around. It's
Could do with the no direction spell right now.
Is it all on one
all
floor?
on one single. It's like an IKEA. Yeah, single floor, single track.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
So if we all keep following the same.
Yeah, you should get there eventually.
Okay.
Well, you can assume that.
Do you reckon we should see if there's anybody here? Just, shout out. Because I don't know you, but this is a hell of a lot bigger than I thought.
I can't hear him.
I'd assume you were kind of in the same group. You've caught up, haven't you?
Oh, we caught up now.
Well, I'd assume you'd have caught up.
Yeah.
I said we just follow the same route.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah, you're not going to go in different directions.
Well, no, I just wasn't sure they caught up because last time he was somewhere else.
You are in one group.
Okay, we're in one group. That's...
Well, I don't know where the end to this place is. I'd kind of... Oh, maybe we do need to call out. I don't know, but... yeah.
Yes. Hello? Is anybody there?
Shop!
There's no response. And you kind of wander a bit further, and you have just about... You turn a final corner, and you've reached the edge of the forest of books. And you emerge into a circular room. It's not separately circular, it's not entirely circular, it's like someone's shoved kind of like a circle or a three-quarter circle on the edge of the building, where the corner meets the building.
Okay.
Almost like you'd have a corner of a turret on a castle or something.
Yeah.
Like a... Yeah, okay.
almost
Okay,
like that.
cool.
And you emerge into this space, and it is vastly different from where you've just been. It is clear. There are basically no books in this area at all. But if you turn around, you can see just the edge of like the bookshelves and a wall of bookshelves basically forming across here. So you've emerged into this space, and directly ahead of you is, around the curve, the long curve, is a staircase which comes up and goes up to the next level. Across the base of this staircase, there's a no entry sign.
Is that the one going up or the one going down?
There's only one going up.
It's like a
Oh, sorry, I thought it was
turret
one
with
from...
a turret
Sorry.
with a spiral staircase going up.
Well, not a spiral staircase. Where the wall comes around like that, like in a circle, the staircase runs up it.
Okay.
Right.
So it curves round. It's not
Around
a
the outside
spiral.
of
it's-
Oh, it
Yeah,
curves,
outside
right,
the room.
okay, onto a second floor, presumably.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk over to it and have a stare. And I'm going to go, hello? Anybody there?
As you shout and you look up, you see a head poke over the edge of the balcony.
Oh. Hello? Right, hi.
I'll be 1 minute, 1 second. And she comes downstairs. She says, how can I help you?
Well, firstly, I have to say that this is the most amazing book mine ever. I've never seen so many books. It's
Why,
amazing.
thank you. It's been in the family 3 generations now.
I do have one question though. How do you deal with people coming in and asking for books? I mean, there doesn't seem to be any order to it. Are they catalogued, or how does anybody find anything? How do you know what's there? I'm just curious.
She smiles, and something you haven't noticed in this room is there is a large counter behind, or just under where the staircase is. It's this large counter. She wanders behind, and you don't see exactly what she does, but she kind of fiddles around with something on the desk, and she says the name of a book. You can assume it's the same name of a book, and all of a sudden you just hear a fluttering, and the book flies, and it just appears. It's almost like the spine kind of arches, and the two kind of, what do you call them, the cover and the back cover of the book, they're almost flapping, and it flies and it just appears.
Oh, nice.
So it's like a magical
Yeah.
cataloguing system.
And it comes up and it flips itself over and it drops itself out into a waiting hand like that.
Awesome. Loving that.
Oh,
That's fabulous.
I say that's rather special, that, isn't it?
She gives you this wry smile, and her eyes seem to sparkle. This is something she's really proud of. And she goes, "Yes, I made that one myself. It's a lovely little spell.
Oh, so you know magic?
A bit here and there."
Wow. By the way, my name's Cuin.
Sophia Softblaze, pleasure to meet.
I likewise like Cuin. I put my hand out, shake a hand, and say, "Oh, my name's Elora. Elora Greyvale."
And the big guy in the back?
Oh, hello, I'm Ogvar.
Oh, you're an odd little bunch. What can I do to help you?
Well, actually, I wasn't so much looking for books as information. If you've got some that if you don't mind us asking. We have reason to believe that we're looking for somebody that we need to get in touch with. And she apparently has been in here because somebody said they've seen her come in here. How long ago was it?
A few months ago.
A few months. She's been in here. Apparently it was a few months back, but she got sort of, I think, long flaming red hair, and she was wearing Cathar's robes. So she's obviously connected with the church, but we're in need of finding her, and we wondered whether, well, this is a big place, but we wondered whether she'd actually come in to see you, and, well, start with that, see if you've seen her at all.
As you're saying this, she's kind of, not pacing, but she is kind of shifting her weight from foot to foot and looking at kind of like the piles of paperwork on her desk and this, that and the other. And she goes, she said a couple of months ago, let me just check something. And she scurries off back upstairs. There's a couple of bit of banging, clattering.
I'm just going to look at Ogvar and Cuin at this stage and sort of frown slightly, but just wait patiently at the desk.
And there's this banging, clattering, and you see a couple of pages flutter like off the top balcony, just flutter down into the floor of the room below and kind of land in front of you and whatnot. And she comes back downstairs. She goes, yes, I have sorry, these are last month's receipts. And she has this little pile of receipts in her hand. And she goes, I don't suppose you know what it was she bought?
No, but...
Well, we were kind of hoping that maybe that's something that you could... See, we're a little bit worried that she's in a bit of trouble. We're friends of hers, and we'd like to...
Really?
Yeah, we're friends of hers, and we'd like to try and catch up.
Roll me a bluff check.
I'm gonna try it. I knew that was coming. Bluff. Where's my bluff check? 11. All in.
Roll again.
For a bluff check again. And that'll be a nat 20 plus 3.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So it's the first nat 20 you've had?
No, it's the second.
How many you had, Colin?
Huh?
How many you had?
It might be
Six
one of
or
the only
six.
ones that got over single fingers, though.
I think I had about 3 or 4, haven't I?
Oh no. Yeah, she gets this kind of like worried look on her face, and she goes, and she starts scuffling through these receipts, and she goes, potioneering guide, no, adventuring, no, armour, no, forging your own armour, and she's muttering stuff, and she's thumbing through these receipts, and it's I say receipts, they're like little scraps of parchment which she's written obviously what they've bought and what they've paid for on. And she scuffles through it, and she goes, I've got one here for a plain notebook.
A plain notebook.
Let me just... And she kind of looks... she's got this big, large, heavy tome on her desk, and it is big. You could say it's probably about A2 size. It's big. And she flips over the top, like the cover, and it goes bang onto the desk, and she starts flipping pages and pages and pages. And she goes, yes, that one. It should have been a large, quite thick, leather notebook. That doesn't ring any bells, does it?
Leather-bound notebook.
Cuin, actually, all of you can make me a wisdom check.
Okay.
That'll just be a straight wisdom.
Straight wisdom.
Wisdom.
And
Which
that
one
20
did you-
minus
Top
1.
right hand corner, Colin. Top left, sorry.
Yeah, just on your main block.
Ah,
I'll get a 10 all in.
15 plus 1. 16.
So 16, a 10, and a 20. Right. With that, every single one of you, except for Elora, recognises this book. You've seen this book before. Elora, you know straight off the bat that the description she's just given you is an exact replica of the book Cuin has in his possession.
Oh.
So me and Cuin just...
You've recognised this book.
We're
You've
not-
seen it somewhere before,
Yeah,
and you
but we
know
don't know
you've
where
seen
from.
it. Cuin, you probably get more of a sense that you know this. You definitely know this.
She's shown us a picture of it.
No, she's given you a description.
A full description.
Well, yes, like a leather-bound book, thick. She gave you a description of the book.
Well, hold on. I seem to recognise that description.
Cuin,
Yeah.
can you just get that notebook out that you've got, please? Just
Oh,
get the notebook out and let's just show it.
Of course.
Hang on.
Sophia.
So, show it to Sophia for me, would you?
Yes.
Just so that I'm sure
just a
about
moment.
this.
So I'm going to get there. Do you mean this? So I'll get the book out
Yep.
from my pack.
Is it like this, Sophia?
She, both hands out, takes the book from your hands. Are you going to let her take the book?
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to let her take the book. And she flips it over and she runs her hands over the cover. She feels the leather of it. And then what she does, she flips the book entirely over onto its back and opens up the back cover. And inside the back cover, roll me a spot check, everyone.
18 all in for Ogvar.
Yep.
Oh, 6 all in for me.
Oh dear.
I know she swapped the dice, didn't she?
And 20 all in for me.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
She swapped the dice.
On a dice that works. I don't want broken ones.
And she's looking at Cuin's book at the moment.
Yeah, the book which Cuin had, yeah. So she flips it over and she opens up the back cover, and both Ogvar and Elora, you can see that you haven't seen this before, you haven't noticed this about the book. But you can see that inside on the back cover, on the outer edge, on the outer corner at the bottom, there is a small embossed symbol. And the embossed symbol is the symbol of the Spine Mine bookshop.
Ah.
Oh.
And she runs her thumb over it. She goes, "Oh," she said, "Oh, this should have been gold. But nevertheless, it's this book is from here. This is the book from this receipt, and yes, it was." And she looks at the receipt again, and she thumbs through, and she goes, yes. Well, that was all that was bought on that day.
Sophia, are you telling... This is not the same book that she bought from you. This is presumably a book she bought much earlier. Are you telling me that this is the same book that she bought from you a couple of months ago?
Well, it's the same book in description, yes.
And
I
you
don't
haven't...
sell many of these books. These books are quite pricey. These books, when I say they're thick, I mean they're like that thick. They are chunky books.
Like about 4 inches thick.
But you said it was. I mean, obviously I can't be because I'm so thick. I only got a 6, but one was silver. The one we're looking at now is silver, whereas the other one.
No. It was supposed to be like, you know when you've got something you've embossed and it's like got a gold like
Inlay.
imprint in it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be gold, but obviously it's not gold anymore because it's been used and whatnot. It's rubbed off probably.
Right.
It's just something she noticed about
Okay.
it because she prides herself. She prides her books on being top quality. But she goes, no. They said we don't sell many of these books. These books we have them made, not to custom order, but we don't have many made because they're expensive. These because they are thick, and obviously there's a lot of paper gone into it. There's a lot of work gone into it. And this book isn't just a leather-bound book. It is a leather-bound book which has been almost like the front cover has been carved into intricate patterns. And this is how she would recognise the book as one of hers as well. But just to check it was actually hers.
So I'm going to look at Cuin and then at Ogvar and say, so just to clarify here, we're saying that this book that she purchased from you a couple of months ago, this is the book she purchased, this same book that we're holding in her hand now.
She looks at it and she goes, I would say that this is maybe a year older than that, kind of, than the book that was bought a month ago. She said, I know this book, this is one of my books. This is one of my notebooks, because we make them ourselves.
Do you sell many of these books?
No, we don't sell many of these books at all because of the cost of them. They are expensive.
Well, roughly how many a year? 100, 5,
less than that. We usually only sell. Usually only when the rich nobles want to buy something pretty for their library. That's the only time we sell them. Maybe 4 or 5 a year.
Oh, right.
Okay, so this is obviously another that has she bought many of these from you?
I wouldn't know, to be honest. I don't really have any recollection of other women with red hair.
Okay. So you've just seen her the twice that you know of?
Yes, and I mean, obviously, the more you've given me about her, the more remembering these books. I don't remember faces very well, but I remember the books. The books are what I remember. I always remember every book that goes throughout this door. But yes.
Did she say anything to you when she was in here? Did you have a conversation with her at all?
Not beyond the usual, I wouldn't think. If we're talking about... When was the last time you said she would have come in?
It'd probably be a couple of months ago, maybe.
Months ago, yes. I've got the receipt here, haven't I? Yes, if I remember correctly. And she shuffles through another pile of notes. She goes, yes. And she goes, we had the same day, there was, I think she came in with her. She came in with her. There was another woman with her. And she bought all of these books. And she starts listing them out. And she goes, potioneering manual, how to improve your potions, how to create your file, lots of potion books here. There's about 7 or 8 of them. She came at the same time, I'm sure she did.
I don't suppose you remember anything else about her appearance, or, I don't suppose was there anything about her person? Was she, I don't know, was she wizard looking, or do you remember anything at all about the person she was with, a description of anything she might be wearing?
Well, if my memory serves me correctly, and she scurries over to a wall, and this wall, you haven't really looked at it before, but there's a giant tapestry on this wall, absolutely giant, and it looks old. And she goes, yes, I do. She works at the File of Moonlight. It's a shop in town. Old family. They've owned it for quite a long while. I remember her now.
And what kind of shop is the File of Moonlight? We're not from round here, so I'm not familiar. We can go.
It's a potion shop.
Oh, it is a potion shop.
They sell potions. They sell ingredients. It's alchemy. They're very good over there.
And were the 2 women, were they travelling together?
They were certainly, they were chattering. I don't know what they were chattering about. I wasn't paying much attention, too invested in my books, you see. But they were certainly talking quite a lot. And very friendly.
Yeah. What was the name of the family woman again? You said that you knew that they were...
The family that run the other store?
The other store?
Yes,
You knew that they were an old family, and you knew them. What was possibly her name?
Trying to remember. I'm not very good with people. I spend too much time in the bookshop, probably.
It doesn't matter, Zephyr. We'll jog on to the alchemist shop anyway and have a look. You've been really helpful, thank you.
Oh, going so soon.
Oh.
Yes, well, and as she says that, there is a massive bang from the direction of the bookshelves, and it is loud.
What? What on earth? What was that?
Not again. Quick, get down here. Get behind the counter. Behind the counter now. Go.
What? Okay, right, well, I'm just going to follow her and duck down behind the counter, and then I'm going to turn around and say, what is it? What was that? Why are we hiding?
Shh. Everyone roll me a listen check.
16 plus 4, 20 all in.
I'm an 8 all in, I'm afraid.
14 all in.
Okay, so the order in which you hear this goes Ogvar, Cuin, Elora, and you're much later than the others, Elora. But you managed to pick up from within the warren of bookcases a heavy thud, 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 thud. Repetitive, kind of flappy. It reminds you of when the book flew towards you. Accompanied by this thudding sound is clanking.
Is it all like metal sort of clanking?
Yeah, very much like metal clanking. Not the same kind of clanking as armour though. It's not the kind of clanking of Cuin's armour when he's moving. It's like a dragging, heavy kind of clanking.
Okay.
And in not too long, about maybe give it 10 minutes or so, because it is in the middle of this warren of books and it took you half an hour to get through here, out of the gap where you've emerged from between the two bookshelves appears a massive tome of a book. It is thick. It is really thick, it looks really heavy, and it is flapping like the book did when she summoned it towards her. Only it is absolutely coated and dripping in chains.
Presumably we're peering over the counter at this point. We can see this. We've
Yep.
been listening to this
Yeah,
come
yeah.
down quietly, and then
Yep, and as it enters the room, it starts almost prowling the room.
I'm going to turn to Sophia and say, keeping one eye on this thing. What is that? What the? What's going on?
You know, I said I made that book summoning spell myself.
Yes.
I'm not very good at making spells.
It seemed to work fine when you did it earlier.
Well, yes, but I had a book and I did it step by step and it all seemed fine. And then one day it went slightly wrong.
What is that book thing?
Is
it a book?
you see the way the spell's supposed to work when you and she pulls something. She leans up and she pulls something off the counter. And she goes, "You see here, this gem. It's all anchored into this gem. And when I touch it, it should bring the book I want. But I may have made a mistake. And some of the books come when I don't want them to, and they animate and they flap around."
Well, when you say not again, has this particular book come out here before?
Oh, this book is a repeat offender.
Well, what book is it? What is it a book about?
Soft furnishings. It's a catalogue.
What?
Well, a long time ago, there was a company here in Junau, and it made soft furnishings. It made carpets, rugs, sofas, settees, beds, all sorts. And the one year they put out this really, really big catalogue, and it had every single product they'd ever made, and it was supposed to be for the nobility and this, that, and the other. And eventually, she keeps on waffling on about this company. I'm running out of steam here. I can't be waffling about a company for 10 minutes, is it? But she keeps on going.
Chains to sort of keep it in place, or
Yes.
Did you put those on there?
Yeah, I had to.
How did you get it back last time?
Well,
When was last time?
last week.
Oh, it's been a whole week.
I thought it had stopped. It was happening every 2 days before.
Shall I try to subdue it, or did you use a spell to put it back, or last time, or?
Well, I set up a trap last time,
Right.
and I usually keep them upstairs. The ones which don't behave. There are quite a lot of them. I've been working on them, trying to get them back to normal, but I haven't had much success.
Do you like this particular book? Do you want to keep this book?
Well, I mean, it's an exquisite version of the catalogue of the furnishings from, 30 years ago. It's in mint condition.
Right, I'm going to look at Ogvar, I'm going to look at Cuin and say, right, just get ready. Follow me on this one.
Okay.
I'm going to pop up from behind the counter. Presumably I can locate it. And I'm going to cast Grease right on the area of floor that it stood on.
It's not stood on the floor.
Flying.
It's flying.
Oh,
So you've just wasted us.
Oh, that ain't gonna go well. I can see this going on.
I thought it was stood up by this time. Legs.
I suppose I could try and wrestle it, but
Well, I
I
haven't
don't
got- have I
fancy
got-
going over there. I'd probably end up on my arse. So
Can we try to lasso it with my rope?
You can try.
I've got some rope. I've got some rope somewhere.
yeah, we've all got rope.
Yeah.
This book is just constantly around the inside of this
How
room.
big is it?
It's a tome. It is.
So
it's
it's like
big.
a foot by
It's
that sort of size, but
taking
thicker.
A4. It's probably a bit wider,
Yeah.
kind of more square, almost like a portfolio kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is thick. It is very thick.
Right, well, that's it. I'll try and grab it and see what happens. Okay, go. So I'm gonna lunge and try and grab the flying book, either by its watches or by its chains. So
Nice.
I've lunged,
Right. Okay. So,
and Ogvar's getting ready with his lasso.
right, you say you're lunging. Are you lunging over the desk?
Now I'm going to come round the desk.
Right. Okay. So as you come round the desk, it notices you, and it starts chanking and clanking its way. It's like chink, 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 chink towards you. It's really slow, but it's coming towards you, and you're going to try and grapple it.
Yep.
Roll me a grapple check.
Well, that's a 7 plus 3, 10.
Okay. You launch yourself at this book as it clanks towards you, and it's floating maybe 10 foot off the floor, so it's quite high up.
Paladins can't jump. Basketball.
So you launch yourself at this book, and you manage to get hold of it.
Oh, nice.
It drops 5 foot in height, and you start getting dragged on the floor.
I got it, but I'm not sure whether it hasn't got me.
Cuin, send us a postcard when you get there, mate.
Can I jump and sort of like grab hold of the book as well? Like, do us there.
Roll me a grapple check.
Try and like grab hold of it and try and get the rope round it so it can't flap.
Okay, roll me a grapple check.
Yeah.
Elora's going to stand up behind the counter and just be laughing at this point.
Grapple. That's going to be a 14 all in.
Yeah, you managed to get a good hold of it. Cuin's lowered it for you. You managed to get a good hold of this book. Right, and then what are you going to do? You're going to
Try and
tie
wrap
it
the
up.
rope round it.
Right, okay, so make me a strength check first.
Strength will just be a straight strength, yeah?
Yep, straight strength check.
No modifier. 1.
Oh!
That one.
Okay. So good timing, innit? So the scene we've got in front of us now. Sophia stood up from behind where she's crouched behind the desk, and she's just looking on at the scene in awe. Elora, you're stood there alongside her laughing. Cuin, you have grabbed this book. You've literally leapt up and you've kind of grabbed the front of this book, and it's dropped down from its height. You're being dragged on the floor backwards. Ogvar, seeing you struggle, has come running up, and he's grabbed the book as well. And with him grabbing the book, you've got some semblance of control over it. It's kind of slowing in its flapping. The chains have stopped chanking because it can't flap as much as it can before, and you're starting to just get it to close slightly. You can see you're putting all of your strength into it, and it is just starting to close. You're fighting basically a magic spell here with pure strength. At which point Ogvar goes, I'm going to try and tie a rope around it. As he goes to try and tie the rope around it, his grip slips, and the book flaps its covers open wide once again, throwing Ogvar, and you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit a wall.
Yeah. That's cool, yeah. That goes on -4 of my HP.
Yes. So if you just keep a running tally of what your HP actually is, yeah. So Ogvar gets thrown. Without the extra strength, the book rises up again, and it flaps forwards and rams you into a wall, Cuin. You're wearing thick armour, so it's going to make an attack roll. And it throws a natural on the attack roll. Right, okay. So it takes a mighty flap, and it pushes you forwards. It's come back up in height, and it's pushing you forwards towards a wall. However, what it's not expecting is for you to be a little stronger than it expected. And it kind of almost buries its tip of the book into you, and it flips up and it kind of dents its spine on your armour. And it's now got the large dent in its spine and the leather's a little ripped.
Well, I'm gonna.
At this point, you've all had your surprise actions. Roll initiative.
Well, 13.
Nat 20.
That'd be 11. That's 14 from Elora.
And what's the book going to be? It's slow. Yeah, it's very slow.
But it's got a damaged spine.
So, going first is Ogvar. You are prone as it stands. Well, as you lie in this case. You're prone because you've been thrown.
Okay, yeah. So where am I being thrown over this side or that side or?
Pick
I'm
somewhere.
assuming the grease is now dissipated.
Yeah, grease is dissipated. The book is...
Yeah, use that.
You're behind the counter.
There
Yeah.
we go, it's book shape. The book is here. It's just damaged itself on Cuin.
The tank strikes again.
Do I have to do something or can I shout to other people?
Shouting and talking is a free action as long
Okay,
as it
yeah.
would happen within... Is it 60 seconds? No.
Yeah, it's within a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
You've got it's 6 seconds. It's a 6 second
seconds. Yeah,
action,
that's what I'm
isn't it?
thinking.
Right, so obviously I don't want to do much more damage to the book because Zofia has requested it.
Yep.
So can I shout across to Elora? Elora, have you got any spells that might help?
I'm still laughing.
Rubbing me backside as I get up.
to be fair, Ogvar, no, I haven't really got a lot that can do that. I mean, I've got a crossbow, but I'll use that as a last resort. Jeez, this is funny.
I'm struggling to think what I can do without damaging the book now.
What are the chains for? They to stop it flapping or what?
Yes, they were securing it.
Can I skip it because I've got nothing I can't that wouldn't damage the book. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just monitor the situation for a moment.
Right.
Because
Okay.
nothing's coming to me.
Do you want to delay your turn?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, let me know when you want to jump back in on the order.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Okay. So next up is Elora.
Right, I'm gonna cease my laughing. I'm gonna draw. I'm literally gonna draw my crossbow and I'm gonna take a shot at it.
Right.
Shot at the book. It's a.
You will roll with disadvantage. But I'm sorry, you'll get a minus.
Yeah, well, the way where I'm stood behind the counter, I've got directly ahead of me is the book. Cuin's off to the left, so he's not directly in. He's not directly in my line.
No, but you're shooting into combat.
8 plus what am I adding? Oh, base attack one. Oh, I've got 9.
Put a -4 penalty on that.
Really?
Yep, because you don't have his feet.
Okay, well that's a 5 then.
Right, okay, with a 5, you release this arrow, you pull this crossbow and you release this bolt. And the bolt flies true, you do actually manage to aim at the book. However, what happens is the chains which are coating this book just chinks off the chains.
So it's now my turn. I am going to try and close the chains on the book, which is now...
Right, so as it stands, the book is kind of like that,
Okay.
at you, flapping like that. So you've got hold of it by, I'd say, by both edges of the book like that. So you've got the spine in the middle and you've got both edges of the book held like that. So what you want to do is you want to try and close the book using the chains, which means you've got to force it shut for 1,
Yeah.
and then you've got to hold it, which will be another strength check, and then dexterity to wrap the chains around. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll me a strength check.
10 plus 2.
Okay, 12, that's... Yeah, you start getting it closed, it starts going. If you roll me another one.
7 plus 2, that's a 9.
No, it starts opening it. You get it partially closed, and you're there pulling with all your strength, and then it just resists and opens back up again. So no, you can't get it shut.
Okay.
Okay, are you going to jump in before the book?
Yeah. Can I shout across to Zofia?
Free action, go for it.
Yep. How long do these episodes normally last?
It varies. It hasn't done it in a week, but you do usually ask for a couple of hours, maybe.
Okay. So it's going to be something magic, isn't it? It's going to be... We ain't going to brute strength it.
I mean, this book, there are chains. When I say they're chains, I mean they're literally like chains across the floor. This is what the chanking was, the chains moving across the floor. So there are chains across the floor and all sorts.
Is there anything in the room we could secure the chains to limit its movement?
Not really, no, unless you wanted to tie it to the one of the struts on the staircase.
Okay. No, I'm going to take a... Still nothing's going to be, so I will take a shot with the bow.
Okay, roll to hit.
I've got a 14.
Right, and you've got the precise shot feat, yeah?
I've got a rapid shot and point blank shot.
Okay.
So that's +1 on attack rolls and damage rolls for point blank.
Okay, so
30 feet.
so you need to take a -4 penalty in what you've just rolled.
-4, so that's a attack bonus +4, that's a +5, so it's going to be an 11.
Okay. With an 11, yeah, you manage to hit the book. Your arrow goes slightly awry, but it hits the book, and roll me your damage.
So 5 plus the 1 for the point blank, so that's 6 damage.
Your arrow goes slightly awry, and it just slices the corner off a good wedge of pages off.
Okay.
And that kind of just flops to the floor and spreads out over the floor everywhere.
What's Sophia's reaction to that?
She goes, "Woo!" She kind of whimpers a bit, but you're looking at her, you can just kind of see in her eyes the kind of like resignation of this book ain't complying.
Okay.
And then it is the book's turn. And the book is going to try and batter the paladin again. 16 to hit.
I am 16.
Right, okay. So the book, it kind of rears up almost. Where you're holding it by the front, it pushes your hands up and it starts flapping. And a couple of the chains whip round, and they do. So there's about 2 chains, 2-3 chains whip round. Does 7 points of damage to you as you get battered by a couple of chains and it clangs off your armour.
Right.
So top of the round, Ogvar.
Okay. So why am I getting -4 to my rolls then?
Because you're shooting to combat. Because at the moment, if it had been...
Oh, because it's engaged with Colin.
Although you've got a clear line of view of him, it would be different if he was stood there with a sword whacking at the book.
Yeah.
Because he's there and he's literally hugging the book.
Yeah, okay, got you. Is it meant to be this hard? Okay. Free action because I can shout something as well.
Yep.
Yep, okay. Because there was the gem that did something to the book.
Yeah, Gem summons it, yeah.
Yeah, gem summons it. Because the other book's just landed in her hand.
Yeah.
If you got close to the gem, I assume.
The way the spell was designed, she's written this spell herself.
Right.
She's not a spell writer by nature, she sells books. But she's tried to write this spell and she's managed to write a spell. She has anchored the spell using the gem, so she taps the gem, thinks the book, and it flies out and lands in her hand. That's supposed to be what happens.
Yeah.
What's happened with this book is that the spell's malfunctioned on the book slightly, and instead of flying out and landing in her hand, it's just flying around attacking things.
So it's got no set destination to get to.
No, it's just kind of flapping around and attacking things.
But she never called it, so it's just...
Yeah.
No, it's malfunctioning basically. The spell
It's just
itself
having
is
a little wander
malfunctioning.
around it. Okay,
Yeah.
no worries. I thought I might try and be clever. No, I will go for... I'll have another shot with the short bow, with
Okay.
a point blank shot again, please.
Okay,
So that's
roll to hit.
roll to hit. An 8 plus a 1 minus 4. No. 8 plus 5 minus 9.
Okay, no, your arrow flies wide and it buries itself into the wall. Okay, unless there's anything else you want to do? Nope. Okay, Elora.
I actually don't know what to do with this thing, to be fair. I'll come out from behind the counter and I'm going to go and help Cuin.
Okay.
So I'm going to grab this book.
Right, roll me a grapple check.
That's a 12.
Yeah, you managed to get hold of the side of it and start grabbing at it. You've got a good grip in it and you are starting to help force it shut.
I'm getting annoyed with this bloody book. It's annoying me.
Okay, and then it's Cuin.
Well, now that somebody else is helping me, I'm going to
Yep.
try yet again to close the book.
Okay.
Because if not, funny enough, this book has caused me more damage than any other thing.
Right, so...
Part of me's thinking, now 2 people got hold of it, quick draw my flail.
Right down the
bloody
middle.
thing.
Okay.
She can always
I could
stick
do
the
couldn't I?
spine back together again, can't she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. I'm gonna quick draw with my flail,
Yep.
and I'm gonna smack it right down the middle.
Rolled it.
Yeah, it's going to go wrong.
13. So that's 13, 17.
Yeah, you hit the book. Roll damage.
That's a 9 plus 2. That's 11.
Right, okay.
Finally, some progress.
As you okay, Elora comes running up and she grabs the side of the book and she starts forcing it closed. And with both of you, it is starting to close. You take this opportunity, you take your hand off, you pull your flail out, and you just leather straight into the middle of this book.
At which point, Elora goes, "Ah!"
And you hear from the corner Zephyr just go, "Yay!" Your flail has broken the spine of this book. The book's kind of like folded in half now, but folded in half the wrong way. Spine's collapsed inwards, and you can see rips in the leather where the spikes from your flails just pierce through. It's still flapping, but it looks very sad.
Gosh, it's still not dead.
It's still not dead. It is still going, but it's basically, I say it looks bloodied, but it doesn't. It looks inked. I don't know. No, it is absolutely battered. Yeah, so it is now the book's turn. So this book is going to make an opposed grapple check on you. So make a grapple check for me.
15 plus 3 is 18.
Okay, it does its best to escape, and it's tugging backwards, and you've got pages falling out. It's like shedding pages now because it's absolutely bust up. So you've got pages fluttering down, and it just can't get out of your grasp. You've got it good and proper. Okay, so Ogvar, you're next.
Okay, so the other two have still got hold of it?
Yep.
Yeah, so as they're holding it steady-ish, I can swap to my battle axe?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a swing at it with my battle axe, please.
Where are you? You're there on the board.
Oh, great. We've both got hold of it and he's wanging it.
Because
Yeah, we'll give it a go. Why not?
changing your weapon is a movement
Ah,
action.
right, okay.
So you won't be able to get up to it.
No, okay, no worries. Don't fancy, with two of them there, I don't fancy, can I move up to it?
Yeah?
That will take my whole turn.
Yeah, you can move up to it. Moving is your movement action. And then you can attack.
So that's 5, 10, 15 foot of it?
Yep.
And now I can attack?
Yeah.
With my battle axe?
No, because you'd have to put your
Draw
bow
it.
away to get your battle axe.
Okay.
You could, however, punch it. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
I do have percolator.
Oh, God.
Punching's not really going to do a great deal, is it?
Tie it up.
Yeah, just thinking that with a rope. Still got me a rope. Could I try tie the chains together or wrap a rope round it? Now is it almost closed or is it open still?
It's still open,
It's
but it is
folded the wrong
absolutely
way.
battered. It's open like that, but it's also open like that.
That, yeah.
Yeah,
So, we're not going to shut it then, so there's no point trying to hold it shut.
You can delay your go if
Yeah.
you want to. You can delay it till later in the round. Or...
Say if I can't really do anything with much
I mean,
damage.
you could literally do an unarmed attack.
Yeah, I'll
if
go
you
for that then.
wanted.
Yeah, if that's a thing, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so roll me. What are you doing first of all? Are you punching it, kicking it?
Where is it? Is it still it's on the floor now?
No,
It's
we're
5 foot up in the air, basically.
in the air.
It's you're all kind of grappling it.
So it's sort of head height then.
Yeah.
I'll do a head height
It's
punch
It's a
then.
bit low. It's kind of like Cuin's chest level, I'd say. He's got it towards his chest. So
If I did a grapple check, could I help pull it down to the ground a bit more?
yeah,
Yeah, I'll try and pull it down a bit closer
Right,
then, rather
roll-
than Colin swinging it around. Head height.
roll a grapple check.
Okay. That's going to be 16 all in.
Yeah, you grab it well and good. You kind of, I'm assuming you're going to run up and you'll just kind of jump on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of grab it and it drops like a stone, and you're really getting it down towards the floor now. You're all kind of like pushing on it, and it's nearly to the floor, basically.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and then it is Elora.
right. I'm going to continue pushing it to the floor, and then I want to. Can I sort of really lean in on it and push it down to the floor?
Make me a strength check.
That'd be an 18 all in.
Oh yeah, you get it to the floor.
Right. At which point I'm going to stand on the fucking thing. I'm just
Okay.
going to stand on it.
Okay.
Literally going to put my Cuban heel on it and drill it into the floor, so I've got it pinned.
Right. You're basically stomping on it.
Yeah.
Right. Roll me an attack roll. So
So
roll, add your strength modifier.
that's 16 all in.
Roll damage. It's going to be a d6.
No, it's only a 1.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of grind it into the floor, and you can see where you're putting that much pressure on it. It's kind of dimpling around your heel, and the spine's kind of bending up around the pressure point where your heel is. But it's still struggling. It's still trying to get out. Okay, and Cuin.
Kebab.
Right. Because she's stood on it, whereas before we was, I can't really swing me because that'll probably be close quarters will probably be mine because she stood on it.
Yeah. You've now got 2 people stood on it, so
I'm going to try again to.
Why have we got 2 people stood on it?
because you're stood on it and he's leaning on it, he's like.
Oh, okay, right.
Might as
Sorry.
well be stood on it. It's the same difference.
Okay.
I'm going to try and bind the chains
Okay, it is flat out, flat on the floor though.
out, flat out.
Yeah.
Right. I'd get if I attack it. I'm going to get the -4. Right?
If you're attacking it with a weapon, yes.
Right. I'm gonna punch him. The bloody thing.
We're all just punching them
So to set the scene, there is a absolutely battered book on the floor. It's trying to flap a bit. The sorcerer is stood in it with a Cuban heel. The ranger is pinning it down. And then the paladin is just rage punching it.
This book.
Not on the good read
This
shelf.
book has already done 11 damage, 4 to you, 7 to me. I've fought wolves, cultists, and I've only ever had 2 points of damage. This thing is being taken out.
Okay.
I'm dyslexic, so this is just like trauma for me. Reading's normally hard enough.
Roll to hit.
Roll to hit.
Roll to hit. Take a +2 advantage as well. Just so roll your attack and then add your strength modifier.
So that's 19
Just
plus.
your strength modifier.
That's 21.
+2.
23.
That'll do.
You
He's
hit it
annoyed
very
with
well. You hit it very well. Roll damage, d6 plus strength.
That's 4 plus 2 is 6.
Okay. Wow. Right. So, sorcerer stood on it with her Cuban heel. Ranger pinning it down to the floor. Paladin drops down and absolutely leathers the spine to the point where the spine cracks directly down the middle and the force of it rips leather and the book splits in half and it scatters across the floor. You've defeated it. The book is dead.
I'm just going to say, for God's sake. Well,
You could call that a catalogue of errors.
The spine mine was vast and crammed with literary curiosities. An extremely unexpected tussle with a tetchy tome resulted in a gritty grappling match. With the magical book malarkey managed at last, our team finally gained the further information they are seeking from Zephyr.
Hi, it's Elora here. If you think that you can help support the creation of our podcast and get yourself a mention, you can now donate Rowan an ale and myself some rations via the link in the episode bios or through our website homepage. Thanks ever so much, it'd be really appreciated. Good day.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Having you as a listener means everything to us. So, whichever streaming service you choose to listen to us with, please give us a like, subscribe and follow. We would love for you to join us on our Facebook or Twitter page, where you can catch up with all of our latest news. While you're waiting for the next episode of Secrets of the Silver City, why not pop over to our website, where you can read all of the information about this campaign, from backstories to setting. All of the links are in the bio of this episode. Join us again next week for the next instalment. Thank you for listening.